beautiful people. How are you? I hope you are fine and you're doing very well. Welcome back to another horror story video. I am very much looking forward to making this video because I think I have not released a horror story video in a while. I think, yeah, because I already had these stories ready to go, but I published a few other videos, a few haul videos, and the Harry Potter almanac video. So today I have more legends for you. Because of the past two videos about the folklore legends, I've become drawn to these legends, and I started to research more, and I found 5 other legends around the world that I would like to share with you today. So first we have the Manananggal from the Philippines, and then we have Silbón from Venezuela and Colombia, and we have Pontianak from Malaysia and Indonesia, and Strigoi, I think it's pronounced Strigoi. This is from Romania. And last but not least, we have the demon of Avenida Paseo de la Reforma from Mexico. So very excited to read these legends. So I would like to just give a little bit of precaution or a warning sort of thing. I think these stories are a little bit more detailed and even maybe gruesome or to a slight extent. So keep that in mind before you start to watch this video. I mean, if too gory and gruesome is not for you, then maybe you want to skip on this one. I don't know. I found it a bit gruesome, I would say. So without further ado, let's get started, okay? So the first legend, Manananggal from the Philippines, okay? The Manananggal is one of the most terrifying creatures in Filipino folklore, a being of nightmare that blends into human society by day and becomes a bloodthirsty predator by night. By day, she might be your neighbor, a friendly face in the market, or even someone you trust. But as the sun sets, her true nature emerges. As midnight approaches, the Manananggal seeks a secluded spot, far from prying eyes. With a gruesome sound, her upper body tears away from her lower half, sprouting massive, leathery wings. Entrails dangle grotesquely from her torso as she takes to the air. Her eyes glowing with a malevolent hunger, she scours the night skies, searching for the scent of her favorite prey, pregnant women and newborns. hands drawn to the vulnerable, silently gliding through the air, her long, thin tongue capable of stretching impossibly far to reach her victims. She targets homes where expectant mothers lie asleep, slipping her tongue through the smallest of cracks to feed on the unborn child within. The creature's approach is often noticed by an eerie ticking noise, which grows louder the further she is, confusing her prey and adding to the terror. Villagers live in constant fear of this creature, taking great care to protect themselves. They place salt, garlic, and holy objects around their homes, believing this to be potent deterrents. The real challenge, however, lies in discovering where the Manananggal has hidden her lower half. This half, once found, must be sprinkled with salt or ashes to prevent her from reattaching before dawn. If she fails to rejoin her body, the light of day will burn her away, ending a reign of terror. What did you guys think? I didn't particularly enjoy this legend. I think because of the expectant mothers and unborn child, I didn't like that part at all. I find that to be, I don't know, gruesome, and I just didn't like it at all. To think of it, there are a lot of legends that are similar, you know. A lot of, I would say, like supernatural or creatures or some sort, like a lot of legends that say that these creatures sort of target expectant mothers and unborn children, etc. I don't enjoy these legends, to be honest, and I just hope that these are just legends, to be honest. Okay. Second legend, Silbón, the whistler from Venezuela and Colombia. Okay. Silbón, known as the whistler, is the legend that has haunted the vast open plains of Venezuela and Colombia for generations. The tale of Silbón is both a ghost story and a moral fable, a chilling reminder of the consequences of sin and the inescapable nature of guilt. The story begins with a young man, spoiled and cruel, who one day committed an unforgivable act. In a fit of rage, he murdered his own father when his demands were not met. Horrified by his own actions, but too proud to seek forgiveness, he was cursed by his grandfather to wander the earth for eternity, carrying the bones of his father in a tattered sack. Now, as a restless spirit, Silbón roams the plains, his presence marked by a haunting, mournful whistle, the whistle whistle is strange and deceptive. Those who hear it close by are safe, but if it seems distant, El Silbón is perilously near. His whistle is often followed by death or misfortune, particularly for those who have led immoral lives. His primary targets are drunkards and abusive men, whom he punishes by sucking the life out of them, leaving their bodies hollow and empty, just like his soul. El Silbón is said to be an impossibly tall figure, his skeletal frame draped in ragged clothing. His eyes, sunken and empty, reflect the torment of his endless existence. He carries his sack of bones with him always, the bones rattling softly as he moves, a grim reminder of his eternal burden. The legend warns that El Silbón can appear anywhere, especially on lonely roads or in the dark corners of one's home. The only way to protect oneself is by carrying a whip, a dog's fang, or hot peppers. These are items said to repel him, but even these may not always work, for El Silbón is relentless. Driven by a curse that cannot be broken. To this day, people in the region still share tales of encounters with El Silbón. Some say he's a myth, a story told to keep children in line, while others swear they have heard his whistle, felt the chill of his presence, and lived to tell the tale. Yeah, this was weird. I think this legend is weird. It sounds like a story, like a made-up story. It doesn't sound real to me. Okay, that legend. The Pontianak from Malaysia and Indonesia. This is actually quite, this legend is quite famous in Singapore as well. So I have heard of it myself like a few times. I mean the legend, of course, yeah. But I've heard like a few different variations, so I'm not sure which is the correct. So let's get to it, okay? The Pontianak is a spirit of immense power and malevolence in Malaysian and Indonesian folklore, known for her beauty, her sorrow, and her thirst for vengeance. The Pontianak is said to be the ghost of a woman who died during childbirth, a spirit unable to rest due to the pain and anger of her untimely death. By day, the Pontianak is a tragic figure, a sorrow palpable to those sensitive enough to feel it, but by night she transforms into a creature of pure terror. She appears as a stunningly beautiful woman with long, flowing black hair and a white dress that billows around her as she moves. Men are drawn to her beauty, unable to resist the allure of her presence, moments before twist into a cruel sneer. The scent of frangipani flowers, sweet but overpowering, fills the air as she draws near, a sure sign that she is about to strike. She does not forgive easily, and she is set to haunt those who have wronged her, particularly men who have committed acts of violence or betrayal. Her methods of vengeance vary, but all are terrifying in their own right. Some say she simply stares into her victims' eyes, draining them of their will to live. Others believe she attacks with sharp claws, ripping apart those who dare to harm her or others like her. There are ways to protect oneself from the Pontianak, though none are foolproof. Some believe that placing sharp objects like nails or needles near the entrances to a home will keep her at bay. Others say that a nail driven into the back of her neck will temporarily subdue her, turning her back into a beautiful woman until the nail is removed. However, few are brave enough to try, for to get close to the Pontianak is to court death itself. I find myself particularly terrified of this legend. I think it's because I've heard this like many times here, and I've had friends, people like in stories, that claim that they have seen this Pontianak. So I'm not sure if it's a true story, a true legend, but it terrifies me nonetheless. Okay. Fourth story, Strigoi from Romania. The Strigoi is one of the most feared and complex creatures in Romanian folklore, often considered the precursor to the modern vampire myth. Unlike other undead beings, the Strigoi is a restless spirit that rises from the grave, driven by an insatiable hunger and a deep unfulfilled longing. The Strigoi is not merely a mindless monster, but a tortured soul trapped between the world of the living and the dead. The origins of a Strigoi are varied and often tragic. A person may become a Strigoi if they die under violent or unjust circumstances, if they were particularly sinful in life, or if they were cursed by a witch. Sometimes even those who were simply born with certain physical traits, such as being the seventh child of the same gender, are believed to be at risk of becoming a Strigoi after death. These unfortunate souls are doomed to rise from their graves, seeking to fulfill their unquenched desires and settle unfinished business. By day, the Strigoi lies in its grave, appearing as a regular corpse, but as night falls, the creature awakens, clawing its way out of the earth to roam the world of the living. The Strigoi can take many forms. It might appear as a shadowy figure, an animal, or even a close relative or friend. This ability to shapeshift and deceive makes the Strigoi particularly dangerous, as Strigoi feeds on the vitality of the living, slowly weakening them over time. The creature often begins its attacks on animals, leaving livestock mysteriously sick or dead, before moving on to humans. Those who fall victim to a strigoi suffer from nightmares, fatigue, and a gradual decline in health, often leading to death if the attacks continue unchecked. The presence of a strigoi is usually marked by strange occurrences, animals behaving erratically, unusual sounds in the night, or the sensation of being watched. Villagers often suspect a strigoi is nearby when they find gravesites disturbed or when multiple deaths occur in a short period without any clear cause. In such cases, they may seek the help of a local priest or a wise elder who knows the ancient rituals for dealing with the undead. To prevent a deceased person from becoming a strigoi, villagers perform a series of protective rituals at the time of burial. Garlic is placed in the coffin along with iron nails or sharp objects to keep the spirit from rising. The body may also be bound with chains or the limbs nailed to the coffin to prevent movement. Okay, that is really, really creepy. In extreme cases, the body is exhumed and a stake is driven through the heart, or the head is severed and placed between the feet to ensure the strigoi cannot rise again. Oh my goodness. I really hope this is not true. Okay. If a strigoi is believed to be active, more drastic measures are taken. The grave is unearthed and the body is subjected to a series of tests to confirm its undead status, such as breaking the skin to see if it bleeds. Oh my goodness, this is creepy as hell. The grave is unearthed and the body is subjected to a series of tests to confirm its undead status, such as breaking the skin to see if it bleeds or checking for signs of recent activity like dirt under the nails. If the villagers are convinced that the body is a strigoi, they will destroy it by burning or dismembering the corpse to finally release the tormented soul and protect the living. I didn't like this legend one bit at all. It's way too creepy and gruesome, and I didn't like it at all. But it's interesting to know, the different kind of legends around the world. Okay, last legend for today. The demon of Avenida. Avenida Paseo de la Reforma from Mexico. In the heart of Mexico City, on the bustling Avenida Paseo de la Reforma, a chilling tale has whispered through the years. A story of a malevolent figure known as El Demonio de la Reforma, the demon of Reforma. This urban legend has haunted locals and night travelers for decades. Its origins shrouded in mystery and fear. The legend tells of a tall, dark figure seen wandering the avenue during the darkest hours of the night. Unlike the hustle and energy the avenue has during the day, at night it becomes eerie, quiet, and cold. The demon is said to appear only to those who walk alone, particularly the lost and the hopeless. He is often described as a man cloaked in shadow with piercing red eyes that gleam from the darkness, and a long flowing coat that moves unnaturally with the night winds. The story varies, but one thing remains consistent. Those who encounter him are never the same. The demon approaches his victims with a slow, deliberate gait. Sometimes he asks simple questions like, "Do you know where you're going?" or "Are you lost?" His voice is low, smooth, and strangely hypnotic, drawing those who hear him into a trance-like state. Once they engage, it is said that the demon of Reforma curses them with unbearable misfortune. Some fall into terrible accidents, others lose their loved ones, and a few simply vanish without a trace, as if swallowed by the night itself. There is one chilling account from the 1970s of a taxi driver who picked up a lone passenger late at night on Avenida Paseo de la Reforma. The passenger was a man dressed in black with a hat pulled low over his eyes. As the ride continued, the driver felt a creeping unease. His passenger was unnaturally silent, and the temperature in the cab dropped suddenly. When the driver glanced in the rear view mirror, the passenger's face was not that of a man, but a decayed, grotesque figure with burning red eyes. Terrified, the driver swerved off the road, but when he turned around, the passenger had vanished, leaving behind only the smell of sulfur and a lingering sense of dread. Legend has it that those who ignore the demon or cross paths with him are doomed to experience terrifying visions or meet untimely deaths shortly after the encounter. Some locals even say that El Demonio de la Reforma is the embodiment of evil itself, a supernatural entity that preys on those who are vulnerable, souls weighed down by grief or anxiety or guilt. Others claim that he was once a man cursed by ancient magic for a betrayal, or sacrilege, forced to roam the avenue as a demonic specter for eternity. To this day, some claim to see fleeting shadows near the famous statue of the Angel of Independence, or along the darkened stretches of the avenue where the streetlights flicker without reason. No one can say for sure if El Demonio de la Reforma is real or just a product of the imagination, but many locals avoid walking alone at night on Reforma just in case the demon is still watching, waiting for his next victim. It is said that if you ever walk down Avenida Paseo de la Reforma at night and feel a sudden chill, hear an eerie whisper, or catch the glow of red eyes in the darkness, it's best to turn away and leave quickly because the demon may have chosen you next. Creepy, very creepy. I got goosebumps multiple times reading this legend. It's creepy. Okay, so these are the 5 legends. I think by far these are really, really creepy and gruesome and so detailed, right? So yeah, but nonetheless, I think they're interesting. If you have any ideas for the next horror story video, should I